Welcome in. Another episode of the Swish Masters Podcast is here. I'm your co-host, Zay, the executive producer. I got my guy, the Guru, with me. We here. Another day. New season coming up, man. Looking forward to these hoops. Seeing these buckets. Q, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling real good. Excited to be here with the people. NBA season's coming up soon. Got a lot to talk about today, though, y'all. It's been good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got some things to get into. First off, man, a lot of news, a lot of things. We talked about Dame last time, heading to the Bucks. But we were all wondering what's happening to the man, the Holiday man. Jrue Holiday is going to the Celtics. Obviously, he's there now. We got a few other things on the docket for y'all today, including the WNBA. We got all NBA stuff coming soon with just the division, what we looking like this season. So we're going to get into it.
Yep. ESPN also put out a top 100 list. And y'all, we got to talk about this list. So we're going to have our little reaction to that, too. We got an MVP, former MVP, joining Team USA for 2024 Olympics. We'll be talking about that. And, of course, we got the final swish, as always. It's QtheGuru, Zay, the executive producer, Swish Masters. Let's get it going, man.
Let's do it. So first off, man, gotta talk about this. Jrue Holiday to the Boston Celtics. I gotta say I'm not happy about that, to be honest. But Q, you did call it. Jrue Holiday is now a Celtic in the trade. We got Jrue Holiday going from Portland to Boston for Malcolm Brogdon. We got Robert Williams going to Portland, as well as some first round picks via the Warriors and the Celtics. Man, I'm sad to say that you got me. You got this one, but it's all good. Celtics just got a lot better. Jrue Holiday to me is one of the, if not the best, guard defender, just overall defender in the league. It's nothing he can't do. Strong, solid, give you 20 points a game. Facilitating everything, man. It's a big acquisition by the Celtics.
Yep. Yeah, man. Y'all got to start listening to me, bro. Y'all start listening. It's all good, though. It's all good. So, yeah, as you're saying, if you were late to the party, when we returned and kicked off our new season, we talked about Dame trade, as you said. We also knew that Jrue was going to be traded somewhere. And I was like, got to be traded to a contender of Jrue's caliber. And there are a couple of teams we talked about. We're like Lakers. Like Philly was another one that came up.
Yeah.
And Celtics. So I was selling on the Celtics because that's literally what they need. Now, the trade details are here, though. You know, we have it on the screen for you. They do give up some depth, in my opinion. Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, first round pick, and two first round picks actually. So yeah, it's something. Now the Celtics, honestly, I think the Celtics have improved with this. It's just you lose some front court depth. That's the only thing for me, man. That's the only thing. Especially because you don't know the health status of Porzingis. You have I trust Horford to finish the season. He's been pretty durable for the most part. I had no issues with him.
Yeah,
it's always a little bit questionable about Porzingis. Although he had a good season with the Wizards, he played most of the games. I got to pull up the exact number, but he played in more games last season than the season before with the Mavericks. So that's a good sign. But will that keep up though? It's always a question of health of Porzingis. So that's the only thing. But if they can work that out, and he is healthy, and you do have Al Horford still in the front court, Derek White is still blocking shots like he's a big man. So it could really work out. And Drew's defensive prowess, bro, is such a
Tough,
huge upside. A lot of
very
players
tough.
around the league speak highly of Drew Holiday and his defense. So it's no joke. We talk about his defense, no joke at all. So
Absolutely, man.
I
Drew
got
Holiday is probably one of the strongest guys in the league. This that is kind of under the radar when it comes to just strength. If you ever watched him defend bigger opponents, guys try to back him down and they can't really move him. He's solid. On top of that, he can get to the cup, finish. The whole package. To touch on what you talked about with the front court depth, I agree. The Celtics haven't had the best of luck when it comes to just keeping their big men healthy. Robert Williams obviously missed a lot of time, knee injuries and things of that nature, as well as Porzingis in the past. A lot of health issues, knee issues, stuff like that. But the good thing I think, and like you said, Al Horford's been consistent, but I wouldn't really rely on him because he's not that I wouldn't rely on him, but I wouldn't expect him to be playing like a lot of minutes like throughout the whole season. I would try to like preserve him for the playoffs because he is older. To be fair, but I think the good thing about this team is now that they have a little bit more balance. Obviously, you got Tatum and Brown, the star duo. They're gonna obviously score and do a lot of the leadership work, the facilitating as well. But bringing somebody in like Drew Holiday and Porzingis just makes it so much easier for the team as a whole, as well as just taking a load off of Porzingis. If you look at the teams that he's been on, New York, he was kind of in the shadow of Melo early on, I think, or maybe I was after Melo. I can't remember now, but he was the focal point. Got hurt obviously before he could like really ascend. Got to Dallas, kind of was healthy in and out. Then his last season in Dallas, he was good. Had a really good season last year with Washington. But the thing now is that he's essentially like the third option, which is for him good because he can really operate on his own and not have to worry about you can't really double team him, even though he's 7'3", he can just shoot over anybody. But you got Tatum, you got Brown, you got Drew Holiday out there, you got Derek White out there. Like you have a lot of weapons that you can go through, and that makes it a lot easier. So he doesn't have to feel a lot of pressure, I guess, when it comes to scoring, and he has backup just easily available across the floor. So I think they'll be able to find a lot more balance this year when it comes to making sure guys stay healthy. At least I hope.
right. And true, they can also run plays from the post through Porzingis as well. You know, he's also a good passer at the post as well. So you get a whole lot of upside. No, the only thing about Robert was offensively, but he gave you so much defensively though. And
For sure.
Porzingis can, you know, and it's I won't say he's not in his prime anymore, but especially when he was in New York, he was definitely a beast on defense and the boards. So
Yeah.
can he still bring that back? I believe that he can. And you get so much more upside offensively. So yeah, it's looking a little troublesome out there in the East, man. It's tough. So with this trade, I know before we discussed the Dame trade, I believe I still had the Celtics as my favorite. And of course, you had the Heat. This trade after this, I'm double down on how I feel about the Celtics now, because that literally filled the void that they needed. And
Yeah.
a lot of people may have also said the Bucks before this trade, but I feel like after this trade, if you did say the Bucks, you got to be questioning a little bit now, because at least a little bit. It's tough. It's tough, but early on, that's why. Right, that's my prediction, and we can see how it works out because that Dame Giannis pick and roll is gonna be deadly.
Yeah,
But I'm interested to see how. It's also on the coach. That was my main question about the coach in Milwaukee. How what system is he gonna
mm.
run? The coach is slipping. His name is slipping my mind right now.
Adrian.
Missoula.
Oh, Joe Mazzulla. Yeah,
Yeah, Missoula. He had a pretty. It was a successful year.
yeah.
Um, despite everything I was. Team finished strong, so I think, yeah, I'm liking the Celtics, and of course you're still feeling the heat, right?
Of course,
Yeah, I don't know why I
never
asked.
doubt.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, of course. So
I mean,
I'll
to
also like you go ahead.
oh my bad. To be fair, I've I've seen a lot of people, a lot of polls saying that the Celtics are the favorites to win the NBA championship in 2024. Which I'm not. I can't.
Could be
I can't be
honestly.
mad at that. I think they have a good shot, but you know where I stand.
I
But
know,
I do acknowledge that these teams really got better.
but you
Both.
can also objectively pick. Like I'm an OKC fan.
Mhm.
I'm not saying OKC is going to win the championship. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
Now, I think we'll make the playoffs. I expect us to make a deeper run than last year,
for
but
sure.
that's it. um, I'm being objective here. You can still be objective and pick. Like,
Yeah, I
still don't
objectively
want to.
pick the Heat.
All right, objectively pick the Heat.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm rolling with the Heat, man.
all right. More power to you. That's good. Glad you got faith in your team like that. After y'all dropped the ball twice, I say
Yeah,
twice because of Bradley Beal and and Dane.
uh,
So that's tough.
yeah.
So I also want to hit the other side of the trade real quick before we get off this topic, though. Like putting trade details back up here. So the Blazers do have Brogdon now and Williams. They do expect to flip Brogdon.
Mm,
And first of all, shout out to Portland and their brash there, like their front office, because they're getting a lot. And this is still technically a part of the Dame trade. If you want to include this, more picks,
yeah,
more players. They can still, before the Dame trade is officially done, they could have even more picks. Because they don't
yeah.
need Brogdon. I'm not sure they're going to trade Williams. I'm not sure, but I've been hearing them. They're trying to trade Brogdon
Mm.
based on news that I've been seeing. And y'all out there too, y'all can probably tell us different. Let us know. But as far as Brogdon, I would say they'll just deal him to where the best price is. I have no clue what type of team. Well, I could say contenders potentially want Brogdon as well,
I think
especially
so.
if you need depth in the guard spots. So teams like that, though,
I have a I have a theory. I
what's
feel
up?
like he could probably be a big help to a team like Sacramento. If you look at their
Mm-hmm.
roster, obviously De'Aaron Fox starting point guard, Malik Monk, I think he comes off the bench actually. But if you were to send Brogdon there, even if he played a little off ball, two guard, he's a savvy veteran. He can score. He can facilitate. He knows how to make an impact on the floor in different ways. He could be a nice mentor to a guy like De'Aaron Fox, who I feel like obviously has the motor, has the speed, the athleticism. Just he has like the instinct to go get it. But I feel like somebody like Brogdon could really help him broaden his understanding of the game to be able to like know when to slow down, know when to feed the post, know when to attack, when to, just run the clock, stuff like that. I feel like Brogdon could really be a big help to those young players. The guy, the other kid off the bench, the point guard for Sacramento. I can't think of his name, but he's a kid from Baylor. I can't think of his name, but I feel like could be a really big help to a team like that to help them get over the hump. They obviously took a big leap last year, but I feel like they could use him in a way to be able to get better and make a deeper run as well.
That's a good point. He could help. See, those are already good options about that. Good options. Other than that, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, but we'll see.
I,
But Portland has been, like you said, doing a good job in the front office after flipping Dame into DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, even if, he's not going to be there forever. But we'll see.
yeah, definitely see. Um, yeah, I have no other opinions on this topic. I don't think anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man. Shout out to Portland. Obviously, Dame will be missed by those Portland fans, but beginning of a new era. Scoot Henderson has looked good so far in preseason. I think DeAndre
True.
Ayton has a chance to be revitalized and kind of set himself up to be one of the best centers in the league, as well as the other young guys. The Skywalker kid, Anthony Simons, they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be developing something there, a little bit of a youth movement, which is good. New blood, new energy. It's going to be good.
For sure. WNBA finals going on right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man.
And let's talk about this. This has been the most watched WNBA finals through game 2, game 3. What's going on right now? I don't know what the score is, but I gotta check the score again. I know we were talking pre-show. I think you said was it Liberty that was winning?
Yeah, when I last checked, Liberty were up and it was halftime. I'm sure that's changed by now, but
You
they're
think
hanging in
so,
there,
huh?
man. They
Okay.
are hanging in there.
But yeah, just looking at this viewership. Maximize so y'all can see it. Yeah, yo, 680,000 average viewers, bro. Oh, at least 13% from last year. So like from 2022. So that's awesome, bro. What's your reaction to the WNBA finals? And I guess we're gonna get your prediction as well in here. What do you think the results gonna be?
The team I predicted to be there is there, and they're up 2-0 right now.
I mean, obviously, though, we all knew who was going to be
bro,
there.
It's hard. It's hard. Like, but honestly,
it's a super team, literally, bro. Like,
yeah. And CP is not even playing, but it's all good. But shout out to A'ja Wilson, man. Won second defensive player of the year. The Aces are just tough, man. Jackie Young came out of the gates just blazing. Kelsey Plum, I just saw, is like the second all time in points scored in the playoffs, past their coach. But man, super exciting. I'm happy to see that people are recognizing this great brand of basketball from the WNBA. I hope to, hopefully we'll see more action. I know they just announced the expansion in Golden State, which is awesome. We're going to see another California team. So it's very cool. I'm happy about that, bro. But yeah, man, I love this matchup though. The Aces are just so stacked, bro. It's so hard. But shout out to Brianna Stewie. She out here hooping. Got the MVP this year. And Sabrina Ionescu, who's also playing a wonderful season so far. So right now the Liberty are winning, but I still think the Aces are gonna take it, bro. Like back-to-back champions. And this will be the first time we see back-to-back champions since 02-03 Sparks. So it's exciting, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So All right, just to be clear, you said you don't. You think this is it? Just
bro.
to be clear,
No, I
no,
think
no hope at all.
I think the Liberty can win this game, but the series, the Aces, I can't. I logically can't think like that they're going to lose lose the next two, well, the next three basically, because they're up 2-0 right now and they play best
I
of
mean, they
five.
are 2-0, but honestly, you could be wrong though, because Liberty still up almost end of the third quarter. Like,
Yeah, I mean they're up right now. I think they can win this one, but the series, the Aces, bro, like no doubt. I just it's hard to root against them, bro. They are too talented, too stacked.
I know,
Point God, Chelsea, she out here diming. You like,
I know.
it's kind of it's just like so unfair because Asia doesn't even have to like score 20. You know
Not
what I
at
mean? Like
all.
Kelsey Plum's out here getting buckets. Oh, dog, it's a good time, but
It's too much.
they literally just they have too much, bro. It's kind of hard
Yeah, that's too
to root
much.
against them, but we'll see, man. I hope I do hope that they don't get that the Liberty don't get swept because it's exciting to see some championship basketball in New York because we won't be seeing it from the NBA side for a while. So
Right.
shout out to New York.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like they'll be. Yeah, I agree. The Aces have too much.
Yeah,
It's too much. I remember those moves were made in the off season.
bro.
I was like, yeah. And you could predict it could have been these two teams as well, though. Because just of the moves they made. So
Yeah, I mean to be fair, I didn't know how Stewie was gonna be after the trade. I know she was
mhm.
having some injury trouble, but she came back obviously with from the Achilles injury.
Oh yeah,
But
she's good.
yeah, I mean she got MVP, so like she
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She no issues at all.
yeah she is magnificent. She's a bucket for sure. And we were we were supposed to see just great New York basketball, but things changed over the course of last
They got
season.
too much, bro.
Um,
It's too
but
much.
yeah, man, I'd love the
Should
duo.
be an NBA team out there too at some point.
Yeah,
That's be nice.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But shout out to these two teams, man. But yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, man.
It's too much.
Too
If you all follow WNBA, you know all the players we're talking about. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can literally make an argument. They literally got a squad full of Hall of Famers, like for real, and future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer on the team right now, and future Hall of Famers too. If I don't think will Candace ever retire?
I think she will.
Because honestly,
You thought she was
after
going to
she
retire?
retired out of Chicago, I was like, okay, she.
It was dope though, like to go to your hometown, win the championship.
Exactly. And I thought that would be it. That's like the home song, the swan song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, she joined that. Who now? I was over. That was literally my reaction, bro. I was like,
wild.
okay. Just keep it going, Candace. Go ahead, get one of the most decorated ball players out here. So.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, shout out to CP. Hopefully she is doing well and rehabbing, come back healthy at some point next year.
Still get the ring, but does she still get the ring though?
Yeah. She'll get the ring. That'll be her third one. Yeah, I think third one. So yeah, it's still she's on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets the ice still.
Yeah, look forward to seeing her on TV soon as well as an analyst.
For sure.
I hope she should still be able to. I don't know.
Yeah.
how the process is going.
Yeah. I know the injury that she's dealing with is a little bit different. But hopefully it won't hinder her from, anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Honestly, it's some ridiculosity going on out here. But
Ridiculosity.
what I'm referring to is this top 100 list from ESPN of the NBA players, bro. We got 1 through 100. We aren't going to go through each and every player, but there are some things on this list, man, that to me my brain cannot compute. We got to talk about some of these ridiculous rankings. But I guess we can go.
Let's just start off with the full list. I'm
Yeah,
assuming, bro.
take a little glimpse at this, everyone. We got 1 through 100. Some of these players you may or may not know. So we got some familiar faces. We got some faces that are in odd places. You probably can't see them exactly, but shout
Yeah,
out, I guess, shout out to these guys for making the top 100, being
yeah,
the elite of the elite here. So
yeah. First of all, yeah, shout out to y'all. Yeah, to these players who was chosen by a panel of ESPN experts, basketball experts, by the way, and saying like,
expert,
hey, these players are worthy of being in the top 100. Okay.
yeah,
Uh, and by the way, this is from ESPN. This image right here is from NBA Central. So shout out to them for putting this graphic together top of all the top 100
yeah,
here. So, but to highlight some stuff, this is straight from ESPN. So, if you look here, here's some standout names. ESPN knew what they were doing here. ESPN made this graphic, by the way, so they know what they're doing. First of all, some highlights, some names. You see Russ there, number 94, Kuzma, Scoot Henderson, who, however, Brown has not played NBA basketball yet, like
not a real season.
official NBA basketball. Yeah, Chris Paul, Kay Cunningham, Chet Holmgren, who again he's on
Has
my
not
squad,
played
has
an
not
NBA
played
game.
a full NBA game yet. Austin Reeves, Zion, who I can also argue has played an NBA game in a couple years, but
Oh,
still, and Draymond Green. This is just some highlights real quick, and we also um, before we even get to like the top 10, bro.
yeah. Let's
Talk,
discuss these
let's,
things.
let's pause it right here a little bit, bro.
Oh, I have
Now,
several issues, several issues with this image that I'm seeing. How do you put a former MVP, the only player in the history to average triple double multiple times, the most times? How do you put him as 94th on a top 100 list, and you put two guys, not one guy, two guys who have not played in an NBA game before him? I mean, if you want to argue with the other guys here, sure. I think, in my opinion, Russell Westbrook should be way above pretty much everyone that is on the screen right now, but that's my opinion. But there's no way he should be 94. Or he should be ranked lower than, no disrespect to Chet Holmgren, to Scoot Henderson, to Cade Cunningham, even Austin Reeves. Like, there's no disrespect to these guys, but really, ESPN? Really? 94th? Really? You mean to tell me that there are 90 plus players above, or that you think are better than Russell Westbrook? I highly doubt that. That's all I'm gonna. That's all I'll say for this portion. That's out of pocket,
And by
guys.
the way, this is perspective. Like this is where they think they'll be for the season. By the way, like last year he was 65 for us. Oh, now he's 94.
I mean, I get it partially. Like, if you want to look at his last season, it wasn't the best. Obviously, we know that. But to say that
Yeah,
he,
but to based on how he ended the season in the postseason, and to say he's gonna be right there, that's kind of hard for me to argue, especially when looking at some of these other players. You got Mike Conley ahead of him, and now you're three: Emmanuel Quickly, Josh Hart, John Collins, Robert Williams, Kevin. You're like, come on, bro.
yeah, come on, guys. The impact that he has on
We saw the impact on the Clippers team. We saw
exactly the impact he
and he's
has
with
on
the
the team.
Clippers. I could say if he was still with the Lakers, I can understand because he had a bad season with the Lakers.
Yeah,
But his season with the Clippers was a very positive one to me.
for
Especially
sure.
how they ended it. Like they were competitive. And
Absolutely.
it seemed like he really found something there. So I'm like, y'all tripping.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with his ranking here.
And where I put him, I'll put some of these players in the more respectful positions. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Yeah. I'm not saying he has to be in the top 10 or anything like that.
No,
I'm just saying that he shouldn't be at the tail end of the 100.
Exactly. You can't put him in the middle. Like he can't be in the top 50, maybe. Like close to that side. Like he's now on the bottom tier of this. And the guy that I figured, like, I don't think I have this image up there though. I don't think I have it, but James Harden.
Oh man.
So if y'all gonna have Chris Paul 76, Russell Westbrook 94, James Harden had the best like ending to his season. I mean, he had that one good game, like in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah.
And then considering what's going on now, this is perspective. You really think, based on what's going on right now in Philly, that James is going to be? I forget the number though. I feel like it's like 30 something.
I think it is 30, mid 30s. I think.
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have issues with this list, man. But that's no disrespect to any other players.
No,
Like,
it's not.
I think that looking at the guys we're looking at right now,
43. See, in that range, I'm okay. They put rest in them in that range because you got James Harden, CJ McCollum, Julius Randle, those tier players. I'm looking at this list as in tiers. I'm thinking too. Like Chris Paul, Russ should not be at that bottom tier.
Yeah,
at least Russ 90. Come on, bro. 90, the very last tier. Come on, man. He should be at least up in the upper a little bit. Just a little bit. That's just my thing.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, bro. That's pretty rough.
Let's keep going, bro. Top 10. Now, some people might have an issue with this. I know we kind of talked about this a little bit before too, but I don't know. All right, so we got AD at 10, LeBron at 9 for so for our like non YouTube listeners, like we got the whole graphic up here from ESPN Top 100, and these are their graphics, by the way. This is ESPN. That's why I want to argue. Like they knew what they were doing with Russ to put his name on that graphic. But anyway, there's a graphic here. You got AD at 9, LeBron AD at 10. Sorry, LeBron at 9, SGA at 8, Kevin Durant 7, Jason Tatum is 6. Steph Curry and Luka have 4. Steph Curry is 5. Joel Embiid is 3. Joker is 2, and Giannis is 1.
Yeah.
And it provides you a little bit more context, I guess. I'm gonna give you the top 15 real quick. Number 11 was Devin Booker. 12 was Jimmy Butler. 13 Anthony Edwards. 14 Damian Lillard, and 15 Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. Interesting. As far as the top 10 goes, for me at least, 1 and 2, I expected completely. It's the later half of the top 10 where it gets kind of interesting. So, for me, yeah, dog, like AD, you hadn't been top 10 since the Lakers 2020 championship, in my opinion. LeBron still has more impact than AD, so I'll put him above AD's ranking regardless.
Okay.
I want to shout out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. People may not know this, but this man's a killer. Literally could not be stopped. Average 30. And I feel like there isn't, I don't know. I don't think there's anyone who's been able to stop him. I feel like he's got this rhythm in his game that you can't really, it's kind of like similar to how Luka plays. Like, he doesn't get sped up. He knows where he wants to go. He knows how to get there, and he makes the shots like every time. KD being at 7, solid. Tatum had earlier in last season, he was an arguable MVP candidate. Kind of like lost momentum towards the end, but I think I don't know. I probably could swap that around. Steph, honestly, like Steph to Giannis is like, I agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah, but AD, nah. Easily.
Yeah, man. So
yeah, my guy JB at 12. Go and put him in the top 10 though. Just me.
that's a fair assessment though. Jimmy Butler just led his team to the finals, and how he was playing the postseason. I could make an argument he could be top 10.
I think he is top 10. I think it's just that statistically.
Nah, I'm gonna call it out. Nah, this is what it is right here, bro. This is what it is. Bias. You know how many of those people probably just like LA bias, Lakers bias?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some bias in there. But shout out to them for putting SGA in there. Like I'm a fan of OKC, so I've been watching SGA.
Yeah.
They just don't know yet. He balled out over the summer too.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all catch some of his highlights.
The man is a killer, I'm telling you. The man cannot be stopped.
His game is so man, he got everything in his game, bro. Like, shout out to SGA. I still remember when he was on the Clippers, what his game was like. Like, you could see the potential.
Yeah.
And I'm always gonna be grateful for Chris Paul for coming to OKC, because I feel like that helped his growth a lot. And learning from CP3 and just getting that mentality, bro. He got the killer instinct in him, bro. Like y'all just watch SGA this season, and we got Chet back healthy. Chet looking good. Now, be realistic. I won't say we're in the finals, but I think we can make a good run. So, yeah, I like it. SGA, I'm perfectly okay. That's the name that people like. If you don't watch him, or if you don't know him, or seen his game, you'll probably be upset. But honestly, not upset at all with that pick. I actually give him props for that. I actually do. Now, it's just right now, I can still argue that LeBron's top 10 player for sure. And again, this is perspective for this upcoming season. So SGA, if we have a good record this year, he could be MVP candidate. Like these could all be MVP candidates. If you're a top 10 player or prospective to be top 10, you should be having an MVP level type impact. I can make an argument that SGA can do that. LeBron can do that. AD can do that. Will he do it? I don't know. I can make that. Me personally, I prefer Jimmy Butler at 10.
Yeah, same.
Especially after what he did last season. Just give him some respect right there. Although they ain't have him too far. They got him behind Booker at 12, but still, definitely have him top 10. KD, honestly, where'd you say you put KD at?
I think I'm okay with where he is.
Yeah, because I'm okay with that too. Because
I wouldn't take him higher. I mean, well, this is the thing. I feel like the last couple of seasons have been a fluke. And he just kind of ran out of gas. But like at least the playoffs, regular season, he's played, let's just say 50 to 60 games due to injury per season, and in that time he's still been his, to me, normal self. If not, I think at one point he had a bit of a scoring tear, which he that's what he does, you know what I mean? But
that's true.
It's kind of hard. Like I kind of teeter with him and Tatum because they kind of are similar in the way that they score and that load that they carry for their teams respectively. But now that the KD's in Phoenix, it's going to be a little different, and we gotta really like catch what Phoenix is going to do. But
yeah,
I think I could swap Tatum and KD. I wouldn't take him out of the top 10 though. I think he's consistently.
The only person I would argue taking out of there is, like you said, AD. Like that's it. It's the only person I would consider.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, based on how Giannis finished the season last year, I would personally probably have Joker number 1.
Okay.
Joker should probably be number 1 here. Now, this is also a perspective. Like, our predictions? So, Giannis does have Dame. I do expect Giannis to go off too. So, and Giannis defensively, but Joker, he's just big enough to hold his own. Like he's big enough to be a plus on the defensive end. So,
I mean,
that's I would probably switch on 1 and 2.
Okay.
I would probably switch it.
Is that for you, for Jokic? Is that because you see his potential in like defensive schemes as far as just his size?
My only thing is like, just have a couple questions. One, I'm looking forward to see how the new coach is going to utilize Giannis and Dame. So if I see a little bit, I could switch it. But right now, I'm more confident in what Joker can do and the system around them, with him and Murray, and they should all theoretically get better. Theoretically, the only thing about this, you never know how some players may react. Sometimes once you reach that high, you want to get it again, as we heard players say before. Other times, it could be like, for example, I thought AD would take the next step after they won the championship in the bubble. But ever since, exactly. So there's only 2 routes they can go. I'm questioning that just because it's a natural question. That's it. It depends on how they come back. People make jokes about Joker all the time, like, man, he don't want to be here. That man want to be with his horses and stuff, bro. Like, let him be. Like,
Yeah.
so I do question that a little bit, but I feel like I don't know, man. He's here. Okay, he's here. He made a trip here. He made it to media day. He's here for the preseason. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
he's here. This is job. That's how he treats it, bro. It's like a job. I don't want to be here, bro.
It is
I
a
mean,
job, even if it's a very fun one that we all wish we had. But it's
exactly.
it's work for sure.
For sure, bro. This whole, but all the videos from the summer, bro. He just seemed, the meaning was different, bro. He said, "Forget this trophy, bro. I don't need this trophy. I'm just go back home." I don't blame him, man. Go home. I don't blame him at all, man. Go home. Man.
Yeah, man.
Do your thing. He did it. It's just that lull, like, man, I gotta go back to work.
Bro, it's Monday. I got workouts at 6 a.m. Bro, like,
Yeah,
I gotta
exactly,
go back
man.
in right now. Dang.
But his skill is so up there too. And the thing with Giannis doesn't have to be the closer anymore. Even Milton either. But I just can't get that image out of my mind last season. Mm-hmm. Do you remember how Giannis ended the last game? Scared to get the ball, missing the free throws.
That was last year?
Yes, postseason.
I was thinking about the different season, but yeah.
No, that was y'all.
No, I just
played against y'all,
bro.
That was so bad.
Yeah,
he was scared. He caused a turnover. Remember, he turned the ball over.
Oh yeah. Okay, now
just because he didn't want to get the ball. Yeah, I was like, bro, what you doing? I was so disappointed by that because the Bucks were my pick.
Yeah,
so of course I remember. So
yeah.
How that season ended with Giannis and the play that he made. It's just it still sticks out in my mind a little bit. Yeah. Although it should improve with the addition of Damian Lillard, and you still have Milton there. But yeah, man, he just lose some points to me as being number one.
Yeah,
and look how dominant Jokic was in that finals. So, and I know this is not just all purely based off last year, but I'm using last year's data to help me predict for the future. So, last time I saw Giannis, he did this. Last time I saw Joker, he did that. Last time I saw Jimmy, he did this. Like throughout the whole playoff run. So, I can honestly predict Jimmy being top 10. I can predict Joker being number one for right now, until I see new data, and I don't see new data yet, and I still question based on summer league, Scoot looks good, Wemby looks good, Chet looks good, but I still remember other players playing really well. They shouldn't be that low. Russ shouldn't be that low. Not 90 something. That's dang near disrespectful.
Anyway, before we move on,
go ahead.
This is what I'll say about at least the Giannis situation last year. To be fair, he had a back injury that kept him out for 2 games, missed half of the first game. So he probably wasn't, to be fair, and I mean my team won, so I'm not like giving him
I know.
I think we would have won regardless. But
okay.
To his point, to your point, the back injury may have just been a little too much to be able to come back from, especially since he sat out 2 games, and we know how Giannis is. He's had some tough injuries, like in 2021 when they won it, in that conference finals, he hyperextended his knee. I was like, there's no way he was coming back, and he came back and dominated. But
he did.
Back is different. Back knees, all of that stuff is very difficult. So I feel like if they kept him out 2 games and dealing with just like a physical team like the Heat, it's probably a lot on his body having to be everything. And Middleton, I think, was not healthy. So
no, he wasn't. Middleton wasn't.
It was probably just too much to carry at that time. But I think that the reason I keep him at 1 is because looking at what he can do on both ends, yes. And now that he has Dame, I think the game is going to be a lot easier for him specifically, like to be able to just play without this, I don't know, monkey on his shoulder. He doesn't have to worry about closing everything. Like he has to be the closer on offense and defense. Obviously, he's going to probably be the guy I want to go defend the other team's best player on a final possession. But him and Dame will be able to. He's a very smart player, smart person in general. So I feel like that's going to be a big help for him, and I feel like his impact overall still is so magnificent on any given night on both ends. So that's why I have to keep him at 1. Even though Jokic, like I said, also runs everything in Denver, he just doesn't have the defensive prowess of a Giannis. That's why I'll keep him there. But we will see, man. So that's the top 100. And I think things will change over the course of the season once we get everything rolling. But yeah, AD, I hope he proves me wrong at least. Right now, I'm not taking him top 10.
So, if y'all pay attention to like the top 5 in the NBA, all international players, man. Yeah, Giannis, Joker, Joel Embiid, and Luka. If you want to look at top 10 as a whole, it's GA.
Yeah.
So, I think it's the fact that the top players in our game right now, most of the international.
Game's growing, man.
It is growing, but what does that also say about the game here? If you want to look at the future, based on how Wemby's looking, Wemby's going to be up here soon. Wemby's going to be here.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, what does that say about the game here? And these are just rhetorical questions. You know, what does that say about the game here in the U.S.? What does that mean? Because the NBA is the best of the best talent. And the top 10 list does say some of the best come from other places than the U.S. Now, Joel Embiid does have dual citizenship here. He is an American as well, but still, where he's from, he didn't grow up playing basketball in the U.S. It's different.
Yeah.
So has to let me question the game a little bit, man. Because you have to. I got a few questions about it.
Yeah. It definitely means something to know that the game that originated in this country is expanded and growing, and so many talents are just coming from all over the world now. It's really exciting to see, and I think it's just going to make the game better, make it more competitive going forward. But yeah, man, take this graphic a couple years ago, probably was not a lot of international players like it is now.
For sure. So, like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for the game. I'm glad the game is growing and expanding, but just saying what's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean, you know? Just some questions to think. Like, I don't doubt. Like, I'm glad that the game is growing, is in these different countries. Just going back to the finals, man. Going back to the viewership, whole country was supporting Jokic. You know,
for sure.
Watching early morning, late nights, supporting their player. So this is awesome.
Dope to see.
So yeah, just want to point that out because that's something I noticed, and it's like, okay, wow. And if we go back to MVPs, I know I made this point before too. Like, previous MVPs have been international players.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid. Before that, Joker. Before that, Giannis. A couple times. You got double times in there for these players as well. I can clearly see some of these players winning again. Giannis will always be
In the running
a
for sure.
candidate. Joker as well. He almost won last year as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the Embiid would be back in the conversation based on how his season ended, but anything's possible though. So
Yeah.
just saying, that's something. But all right, ESPN, we see what y'all doing out here.
Yeah. We see you.
All right, basketball experts, and what do y'all think about the list? Were we wrong in our assessments of how some of these players should be ranked? What do you think about the top 10 at least? Would you change it in any way? Y'all can let us know in the comments if you watch on YouTube. Leave comments and reviews wherever you listen to your podcast. So, yeah, man.
Let us know, guys. What do y'all think?
For sure. So, we normally do this every at the start of every season. We normally do like a preseason preview of the different divisions. As we go through these teams in these divisions, we give you our predictions for each team, where we see them going, how far do we see them going, and basically what's the projection their season is going to be like. So, and today we'll be focusing on the Atlantic division.
Yes,
so
sir.
In the Atlantic, we have several teams here. You got the Celtics, the Nets, the Knicks, the Sixers, and Raptors. Honestly, we go team by team, honestly, Zay.
Yeah.
At the Atlantic, man, we kind of talked about Boston a little bit with our we were talking about the trade that happened previously. So, I mean, me personally, you know me, I project Boston to go to the Eastern Conference Finals at least. And right now, I project them to go to the finals for sure.
Okay.
All their additions and everything, so they should be able to get at least the Eastern Conference Finals. So, yeah, what do you think about Boston?
I do believe that they're going to be in contention for a chip. I think they finish at least in top 3 in the East. They should, with the talent that they have. Hopefully, everything goes well health-wise. We definitely want to see how they look with the Brown and Tatum dynamic. Brown got this huge extension this year, and I hope that he is able to improve on his talent, being able to take up a bit more of a bigger role, just being a bigger impact overall. But yeah, I think they're top 3 team in the East, potentially the league. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Boston, man. I think they're super stacked talent.
Yep. All right. I can also say that Boston could have a potential MVP candidate there as well. I'm expecting Jason Tatum to finish at least in top 3 voting this year. He should. Jaylen Brown just got paid. I remember seeing this conversation. Shout out to KG Certified, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Certified Smoker. They were all there together, bro. They had a good conversation about where Jaylen Brown should be. He's being paid like a top 5-10 player.
Yeah.
So he should, based on those metrics, improve and him himself be like an MVP candidate. Like, he should improve. So
absolutely,
they should both be candidates to make the All-NBA team. I'm expecting Jaylen Brown, since she got paid, get on the higher tier than last year. I think that's the least that I can expect for Jaylen Brown. Got paid, at least get to like second team. At least.
Sure.
I expect JT to be first team. So, yeah. All right. I guess we move on to the Knicks.
The New York Knicks.
New York Knicks, man.
Um, I personally like Jalen Brunson. I like Julius Randle when his head is in the game. I feel like we haven't really seen him focus in like the later half of the season, whether that's from injury or just
I mean, talking about fans and all this stuff. I mean,
yeah, the environment.
it wasn't looking good, bro.
Yeah. Overall, I think the Knicks have enough talent to be in the playoffs. I don't really see them. I don't know. It's kind of like to me, they're kind of, they can only go as far as they went last year. I don't see them going further than that. Overall, I think the roster still overall the same. Still got Mitchell Robinson. Still have RJ Barrett, who I hope is also. I hope all these guys improve. I think Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, but I think that's like the biggest question, though. It's always gonna be him and Randall, the biggest questions on this team. Like, do they actually improve? You know, and RJ got paid as well. I'm expecting him to really improve.
Yeah,
like he should. So, yeah, and they didn't really just do a whole lot in the off season. You know, I mean, they got Dante. DiVincenzo. Yeah. Sorry for butchering your name, man. I apologize. Dante. So like,
sorry,
Dante. And again, like I like his grit and his hustle. You know, we've seen it. Was he like with the Warriors last year, right?
Yeah,
we saw that with the Warriors, and he was a very good plus for them. So he gets you shooting. I mean, they just didn't really make a whole lot of just. I mean, they can't really do a whole lot with what they have, and I mean, they re-signed Hart. I mean,
I think that was a good move, at least.
Yeah, I'm glad they re-signed him for
like
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and they got rid of Obi Toppin. And they declined to sign Derrick Rose. So, I mean, you know, D Rose is in Memphis now. Like we talked about that before too. So those are some. And although D Rose didn't really play that much last season too, but I would never mitigate or minimize the impact that a veteran can have on a team. You know, just a veteran presence.
Yeah.
So especially someone the caliber of D Rose, and I don't know. They lost a lot of pieces last year that I think could be potential pluses through the off season. This team, I agree with you. They should look about the same as last year.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, record wise, where they go in the playoffs and all that. Like, it should be about the same.
Yeah. I don't see them winning more than like 45 games. And that's no knock to them. I just think that they're also in a very tough position with the other teams they have to compete with. Especially like two of them in their own division here with Boston and Philly. I think are going to rival them a lot. Like I said, I really think that it comes down to if Julius Randle can be consistent, if RJ Barrett can improve. Jalen Brunson, I think, has played great basketball over the past season, even in FIBA this summer. I think his confidence is just getting higher. I think he is going to be a consistent level all-star for them, in my opinion. I think he should be. But other than that, there are a lot of questions with this team. Evan Fournier being on the bench, one of the best shooters in the league. I think he hadn't played in like 50 games, in my opinion, or at least that I can remember. Do they have any depth that they can add with since they have now, sent Obi Toppin to Indiana, can quickly be like a bigger role, I guess. I don't know. Those are the questions here. Are they responding to Tibbs or are they not? I really think they have enough to be middle of the way.
The pack, yeah. And based on the season goes, Tibbs could be on the hot seat, bro. For real, like it's all about how players respond to you too. If I don't see these players improve, man, I'm be like, they rather look at the coach first than the players. So
Yeah.
because it's hard to, they can't really reset a whole lot. I mean, what could they do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them. They can't tank. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. That'll be middle. That's some of the worst places to be as a team. Middle of the pack, because you have aspirations to compete on that next level, but at the same time, the players you have on the team are not like prospects anymore. It's different from like a team like, I'm gonna use my team as example, OKC. That's different. You know, we're growing, we're young, we're growing in experience, getting that experience. Getting to playoffs is enough for us. You know, being in that middle is enough because we're learning and growing. But if you're a team like the Knicks, and whose fans expect them to try to go somewhere, it's tough. It's a hard situation to be in, man.
100%.
Anyway, let's keep going. It's Brooklyn Nets, man. The Nets, they had a couple of picks in the first round last year. They drafted a good potential wing in Whitehead, and they also drafted a big man too, Noah Clowney. So, however, a lot of their shooters are gone. Seth Curry's gone. Patty Mills is gone. Joe Harris is gone.
Yeah.
Utah is gone. So like, it's tough. But they did bring in Dennis Smith Jr. And Lonnie Walker is there. So it gives you some athleticism. However, that they can only go as far as Ben Simmons goes. Ben Simmons, man. So I don't know if you saw his preseason, but you saw what he was doing in the preseason. He looked like he was being a little aggressive. He was going to the hole. You know, he said himself that he wants to have a good year this year. I don't remember the exact quote right now, but he was implying that, you know, he wants to really have a successful season and remind people who he is. You know, I like that. I like that, but
Definitely.
it's all about what they do, man.
I agree. Ben Simmons needs to be the Ben Simmons of old, or let me not say that. He needs to be a new Ben Simmons. He needs to evolve, be better. And yeah, he did. I think he did come out and say he's healthy. He's wanting to, you know, go on a revenge tour, which I would love to see because I think he has a lot of talent, man. Even if he struggles with confidence or shooting, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, he's a really good basketball player who I think can be helpful to any team. My overall look at the Nets is that they aren't a bad team.
No, they're not. It's a decent roster. I'm looking through the roster now. Like, you got Dinwiddie, you got Cam Thomas, who had, if he improved his offseason, he could have a good year this year as well. You know? He went on a little tear.
Yeah.
Last season. I already talked about Lonnie Walker, Dennis Smith. They also got Cameron Johnson, Michael Bridges. Like, these are good players. Like, I like the roster.
Yeah.
I like the roster, but unfortunately, kind of like what we talked about with the Knicks a little bit. It's tough being in that division because you play those teams multiple times a year.
Yeah.
So it's not going to help your record. Yeah, man. And they got Dorian Finney-Smith. I forgot about that with that trade. This is a good roster. I like this roster.
I think it's a good roster too. I just think that they're going to be reminiscent of that D'Lo-led Brooklyn Nets team. I feel like there's a lot of young talent, eager to prove themselves, guys wanting to come back and be better like Ben Simmons. Mikal Bridges expected to be in Phoenix, and now he's in Brooklyn. I think he to me, he's taking some leaps as a leader. I think he can be a main option or the number one option on the team. He's obviously got defensive prowess.
Yeah,
You talked about
I
like
think.
Cam Thomas.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, man, I think they have a lot of eager talent there that they want to prove themselves, but they're just in a very tough conference. I think that they make the playoffs, um, probably like a lower seed, but a lot of good talent, man. Spencer Dinwiddie, a guy who can get buckets, he can do everything. So it'll be fun. I think that'll be a really fun team to watch. I just don't expect them to be
right,
winning playoff series like that, just because it's in a tough conference, man. Like
right.
a lot of
Do you
talent.
think they'll make? Do you expect them to make the playoffs though?
I do. I think they lower seed playoffs, like maybe 7, 8. Like I guess at this point, like playing wise, like maybe 7 through 10, somewhere in there that they take up one of those spots.
Yeah,
And
and also Bridges, he spent time in the Team USA,
yep,
and I think I saw him growing his leadership with that team as well. So that's another reason that to expect some good things from him from there. So
absolutely. Probably the only one of the only guys besides his teammate Cam Johnson who has been to a finals, had deep playoff runs. So they'll bring a little bit of experience. He's not a veteran, in my opinion. He's not like older than most of these guys. So, but he has a good experience for sure.
yeah, yeah. At some point, man, we also got to talk about this tournament
Oh yeah.
because
Once I understand it.
they're getting grouped because they're grouped based on different things, and they're in the Knicks. I mean, the Nets are in like East Group C, and we'll dedicate a podcast in the future breaking down the in-season tournament because there's a lot of different things going on. There's knockout rounds. There's
Yeah.
a prize pool. There's an MVP that's going to come out the tournament and all tournament team, and there's supposed to be a prize pool, and yeah, we'll talk about that later, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to this our purposes with this is not in season tournaments predictions and stuff like that. We'll get to that later. This is just about postseason. So I agree with you. They should be in the bottom tier in the postseason. They should definitely make the play in. But it all depends on Ben Simmons, bro, for me. Because if Ben Simmons turns out to have like an amazing year, I can see him being in the solid middle of the pack type, you know, playoff like playoff team,
Yeah.
and they can avoid the play in. But otherwise, if he doesn't, they'll at least be in the play in. I think.
I think so.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
All right. I honestly want to say
Yeah.
Philly for last because we got a lot to talk about with Philly. So let's let's go with the Raptors, man, real quick.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's go with the Raptors.
Yeah. Toronto to
They
me.
got you go ahead. They got rid of
Oh,
some
my bad.
key players, so I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do. Go ahead.
Toronto to me has some potential, even though they lost Van Fleet in the offseason. I'm really looking at Scotty Barnes. I want to see if he takes a leap, if he improves his game, if he becomes like more of a focal point. Siakam, obviously, there have been like a lot of trade rumors and different things being discussed around his contract and everything. So I don't know how that might end or progress through like the season. But they have a lot of good wing players, I think. 3
They
and D
do,
guys.
and they drafted a good one too. That has potential.
Yeah. I think this team can be a sleeper team. They can be really talented. They're like I said, lengthy, long guys that could be problems for teams like defensively, they could match up with a lot of teams very well, I think. So I feel like that alone gives them a chance to win a good bit of games. I'm not saying they're going to be like championship contending or anything like that, but I think that they are going to be disregarded by like the common NBA watchers, so to speak. I think that they have a
Yeah.
they're just like that sleeper cell to me. I feel like they can be dangerous if they find the rhythm. Like it may take a while, but I feel like they could be a solid team, like mid playoff level, mid East team, something like that.
Yeah, like 5 through 8 range playoff team for sure. And it all depends too on Scotty Barnes if he takes another leap. I think he needs to take that another leap for them to really get there. And it also depends what they plan to do with these potential free agents because OG Anunoby is upcoming. He's a big free agent soon, and he's a valuable commodity. So if you feel like if you're the Raptors, if you feel like he may not resign, they may trade him during the year. If you trade him, that's definitely going to impact what they can do because he's that valuable. And another person too is who else is upcoming? I saw definitely him. And the reason I know is because I'm looking at him. I'm like, bro, that'd be so good. Any team should want to have OG. So
100%. Solid.
Tripping. Siakam. If he doesn't stay, he's upcoming free agent too. So I knew it was somebody else. Basically, some core players on their team are coming up for free agency. So Raptors, can you re-sign these core players? If not, go ahead and trade them. And I know one trade contender. I mean, I know the Heat could definitely use both of them, and don't mess it up. Like, that would be dope though. I would love to see OG with the Heat. That would be a nice fit to me. And Siakam, of course, you can definitely have more front court depth if you're the Heat. So,
not mad at that.
those could be y'all type of players too. I feel like mentality wise, probably. So,
it
all depends on that though. They got a lot of free agents coming up.
Yeah,
I ain't mentioned some others. Gary Trent, Otto Porter. Dang.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Good squad.
Yeah, this could be the end of this version of the Raptors is coming up. So, and we're gonna go into the era of Scotty Barnes and his team. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to step up so he can take full reins of the franchise. Be that franchise player. Right now, I don't see it yet. He has potential, but can he take hold of being that franchise player? You know what I'm saying? And lead the team. So, and by the way, they got Dennis Schroeder. I forgot to mention that as a free agent signing they got. So he replaces Fred VanVleet. So that further gives me confidence that this team can be 5 through 8 for sure.
Yeah, they got solid
5 through 8, firmly in the playoffs for sure. This team. Now, I don't see him making too much far to pass. I think they can give a run to some of these teams at the top. So
I think they can get most teams with their just the type of players that they have.
For sure, definitely
depends on what the front office does, where guys' minds are as far as free agency, trade rumors, and otherwise, guys are going to be playing hard to get better contracts. So I think that's a big factor.
That's awesome. Very good point. Very good point. Now the team that I'm pretty sure we'll spend a little bit of time on, because I don't know what to say about this team, man. Philadelphia. And I can't further make a prediction because I don't know. They know what they're doing. So
I don't think anyone knows right now. The thing with Philly right now, obviously James Harden requested the trade, doesn't trust the front office. Daryl Morey is a liar. We've heard it all. And right now he's still on the team. He's showed up to training camp. He's he's playing, I guess. But how's it going to impact the team? Is it going to be a distraction? Can Joel Embiid stay healthy? Which is like the question we ask probably every season. We know he's world-class talent. I think it's just kind of a lot that's weighing on the stars of these. I mean, on the shoulders of these stars with Embiid. I don't question his like will for the game. I think he wants to win. He wants to play, but it's just health is the main thing. If he can stay healthy, I don't think we've seen a healthy Joel Embiid in a playoff series in like ever, probably. So if he can like last throughout the season, that gives them a chance. And I like, outside of, even without Harden, if they move him, if they don't, the team that they have is solid enough to me to be able to go out there and compete for a chip. Compete with Boston, compete with pretty much the powerhouses of the East. It's just right now questionable because of the Harden situation. Once that's resolved, I fully expect this team to like really get it in gear. I hope they do. I hope it's not too distracting. And if they end up keeping Harden for at least some of this season, hopefully they can work together. I honestly don't think Harden has an issue with any of his current teammates. I think it's just Daryl Morey in the front office. So maybe it'll work out as far as playing on the court, but when it comes to the business side, he's like not there. So,
and to go off of that, he has been practicing, and he also praised Nick Nurse. So you're right, no issue with them. It's all about Daryl Morey, and he talked to some reporters, and this is per Pompey. He said it's not even about this situation. This is in life. When you lose trust in someone, it's like a marriage. And when you lose trust in someone, it's pretty simple. So it's like breaking down like his issue really is with Daryl Morey.
yeah.
And this is all according to Keith Pompey, the Philadelphia Inquirer. So, and the only team that's talking with the Sixers right now is the Clippers, and the Clippers have no desire to increase their offer of a first-round pick and the pick swap and some expiring contracts. That's all they've done. Now, I also remember reading Morey wants an all-star level player in return. And in the back of my head, you're not going to get PG. You're not going to get Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers have made it known that Terrence Mann is untouchable. So the expiring contracts are the ones they re-signed this year on minimum deals, which includes Russell Westbrook. But I don't know I don't know about the rules though. I don't know if some of the rules are like you can't trade until a certain time because you just re-signed. So I'm not sure Russell's a part of that or not, but it could potentially based on the rules. But I don't know. I doubt it because of the rules. But they have other young pieces there too. So like Bones Highland, I'm sure he's probably part of it. And we could probably do guesses all day. But if Morey's not budging, then based on these reports, at least recently, Morey is the holdup. So, and I don't blame him. Get what you can out of it. So, because otherwise, it seems like Harden is going to play.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get fined, so you might as well go and play. Get that 35 plus million and play. So,
yep. Yeah, man. Philly's situation is interesting. I hope that I just hope it gets resolved, man. It's kind of just tiring to see James Harden not playing basketball because of outside of basketball stuff,
Exactly. And let's say the trade doesn't get done. I still see James playing and competing. But right now we do. Because I'm not going to... Anything happen. As we've seen before. So
Yeah,
If he
man.
really just wants to force a situation, I feel like James is fully capable of doing that because he's done it before. But say they do trade James, based on these reports, they never get the caliber player back. It seems like, and although to be fair, James Harden hasn't been an all-star. He hasn't played like an all-star with the Sixers. He had a good flashback in the postseason. There was a couple of like, I know he at least scored 40 in one of those games. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
He
but
was solid, man. But
yeah, it was
when
solid.
it's
But keeping that in mind, they may not get that. They're not gonna get that solid type of player back.
yeah,
Not
it's
all
just
star.
that yeah. I I hope that they will if they make the trade. But we've had this conversation before. I want to see James Harden playing his best basketball, regardless of what jersey he's in, and that may just mean that he needs to adjust his game, which I don't know if he's willing to do from what I've read about stuff with this whole trade debacle. But I
Right. And based
do
on his
think,
reaction last year when he had the good game, remember he was like, "I do this. This is what I do."
yeah,
So those comments doesn't make it seem like he wants to change his game. So
yeah,
and how does that work with Nick Nurse? He's praised Nick Nurse, but Nick Nurse is more of a I don't know. Maybe it changes up in Toronto, but no, Nick Nurse is not like that. He's more of a. He's not going to be settled with just you dribbling the ball and you do this, your turn, my turn type thing. No. And can he buy in defensively what Nick Nurse wants to do? That's another question.
yeah.
Although he does like what Nick Nurse is doing so far, but
At least right now.
at least right now, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah,
But right now, if James Harden plays and he's not traded, Philly should be. It depends on how much of a distraction this will be. Because if this becomes a major distraction, it could fall off the rails. And I mean, not make the playoffs type thing.
Mhm.
Although they should because of the talent they have. But right now, I'm going to say they do make the playoffs. If James Harden plays and is not a distraction, top 5. If he doesn't play, if they trade him and for a lower commodity, they'll probably be in that 5 to 8 range. And I'm saying that because that means there's more pressure on Joel Embiid, and I'm not sure they can hold up for a whole season.
Mm.
But if everything's hunky-dory, everything is great, Joel Embiid's healthy, James Harden stays, he plays well, top 5. Joel Embiid stays healthy for the whole season, even though James Harden leaves. I'll still say top 5. But realistically, though, they probably 5 through 8.
Yeah, I agree. I say they fall anywhere from 4 to 8 as of right now.
Right now, for sure.
Yeah.
And they could still got some good pieces though. Maxey could take a leap where we don't feel that effect from Harden. So that's also a possibility. And if he does, I'll change it. I'll go back top 4, top 5, whatever. But right now, nah.
It's hard to say.
And based on what they get for Harden, if they do the trade, you're not going to get an all-star level player back. So you don't really move the needle. At least for Harden, you have potential that he can be Harden. That's it.
That's fair.
Otherwise, wherever you get, it's not going to be Harden potential.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless Maxey takes a leap and puts on an all-star level type season. That's about it. I feel bad for Joel Embiid. If this situation does take a turn, Joel Embiid, go ahead and make a request and get out of there. Philly, y'all start over. Y'all bum this franchise up again. It makes no sense how bad this franchise would be if this goes left.
Yeah.
Because what was the famous phrase again? I forgot.
For what? For Philly?
Yeah, what was that phrase? Embiid says it all the time too. I forgot.
All I can think of is the process.
That's it. There we go. The process.
Oh,
The
yeah.
process of tanking and losing on purpose. Getting Nerlens Noel back in the day. Got Joel Embiid, who turned out to be a great. He signed dude that plays in Orlando now. I forgot his name, but I forgot his name, man. What's dude's name in Orlando, man? Fultz. There we go.
Oh, Markel Fultz.
Drafted Fultz instead of Jason Tatum. Like, yo,
Yeah,
they had so many chances to improve this franchise.
yeah.
That could be a whole another podcast just on the decisions Philly has made, bro.
The
I can
fall of
go on a rant.
Philadelphia.
I can go on a whole rant about Philly right now, but
Yeah,
hopefully it turns out fine. Then we don't have to worry about this.
yeah. We'll see, man. Shout out to the city of brotherly love, man. Hopefully, y'all can get it together. We'll see.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of Embiid, Joel Embiid has committed officially to play for Team USA at the Paris 2024 Olympics. This is according to Ramon Silver at ESPN. Um, Ramon also noted that Joel Embiid ultimately chose to represent the U.S. because he wants to help the U.S. return to the top of the international basketball world after it failed to win a medal at the World Championships this past summer. So, yeah. Um, I like this for Joel Embiid. I have no problems with him. He has dual citizenship. It's his full right to play for whatever team he wanted to play for. But then his dual citizenship role. So, hey, clearly we need it. So I'm all right with that. Some people could be upset and be like, why not? Should he want to help his own, like where he's from? More so than the U.S. But um, that's what he wants to do. I fully support what he wants to do. And being Team USA, we need all the help we can get. So I'm like, well, come on. Especially how we folded last in this past summer. It was pretty bad. So, but yeah, shout out Joel Embiid for making that decision.
Yeah. Embiid chooses the USA, and I'm sure there are some people upset. Me personally, I don't have a stance on like, oh, you should always pick the US or whatever. I think with him being from Cameroon, obviously people expect him to represent there. France, he also has citizenship there. They helped him get citizenship, so I'm thinking that they're not very happy that he chose to not play for France. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it is what it is, and he has the right to that decision. I also saw a story, or at least a quote from him that was saying that his son, he's doing it for his son who's born here in the U.S. So this is also his country. He spent essentially half his life here. Embiid, Joel Embiid, I mean, he's essentially spent half his life here. So it's only fair that if he's living, he lives his life here. Basically, he's in Philadelphia. He's in the NBA. His son, like you said, is born in the U.S. and he wants to be able to represent for his family as well. So I respect that. And I think it's going to be an interesting Olympics because, like you said, the FIBA World Cup didn't go well for the United States. But it should be interesting because it's seeing guys like Embiid commit to the team. And we've also heard about many different players from the top dogs, whether it's LeBron or KD or Steph or, all these guys who are superstars in our league talking about playing for the Olympic gold medal to be the best in the world. So it's going to be a fun time next summer in Paris. It makes me think of that Kanye and Jay-Z, song I'm talking about, Q. But it'll be fun, man. Shout out to Joel Embiid and joining Team USA.
And that being said, it's about time for our final swish now. Those who are normal listeners to the show, our podcast, this is where we give our final thoughts or final ideas about any topic we want to talk about. Um, I'll hit it off first. Uh, First of all, Shaq has so many endorsements, bro.
Man,
First
commercial
of all, I
city.
mean, Icy Hot, Pepsi, Wheaties, J.C. Penney, Taco Bell, Papa John's, the General. Like he has so many different things going on, bro. But this is pretty cool though. He is
Yeah,
named the new president of Reebok basketball, and AI is joining him as vice president, bro. So shout out to Shaq. Uh, Maybe can help the brand, be back where it was back then in like early 2000s. It was like on the rage, I believe. Um, Help Reebok get back up there. I remember seeing commercials with AI boosting
hmm
Reebok recently. I'm sure to expect Shaq in some more of these commercials as well and endorsements. So yeah, man. Shout out to Reebok. I'm glad they did that. So
for
shout out to
sure.
Shaq.
That's dope, man. Bringing back the OGs, two of the biggest athletes in Reebok for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Got to talk about my final swish. I got to shout out Coach Teresa Weatherspoon, who is now the new head coach of the Chicago Sky of the WNBA. Coach Spoon last coached for the Pelicans as an assistant from 2020 to about 2023. And she's just one of the most decorated figures in basketball, not just women's basketball, but basketball, man. If you don't know about Teaspoon, she's one of the first players to play in the WNBA, one of the original members of the inaugural New York Liberty, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, assist leader, NCAA champion, went to La Tech. I mean, Q know about La Tech, Southern Miss, big rivalry there.
Yep.
But yeah, man, so happy for her. One of the just greatest basketball minds that I've ever heard. I've had a chance to watch her in many different interviews, and just knowing the type of person, the type of player that she is, she's going to be huge for this team. I look forward to just seeing her give her knowledge to the players of the Sky, and just knowing just like her defensive mindset, a defensive point guard, if you will, like just leader on the floor on both sides. Man, it's gonna be fun, and I'm happy that she gets the opportunity to head coach. I feel like she probably has been needing this opportunity, but no time is better than the present right now. So shout out to Coach Teresa Weatherspoon, man, one of the best to ever do it, Hall of Famer, getting that head coaching opportunity.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. All right. Remember, y'all can catch us at these, what you see above, YouTube, Facebook. Shout out to our sponsor, since 96. You can get that ticker rolling. But yeah, thank y'all for all y'all support and everything. We do appreciate y'all. Yeah, make sure to check out the content of this website there that appears at the bottom of your screen. So if you're watching online, but for our audio listeners, ss96.net. Again, ss96.net. Man, talked about a lot today, bro. We
For
reacted to
sure.
that crazy list. We talked about the result of Jrue Holiday with the Celtics. Where is that, and where we see the Celtics now. We also previewed the division for the Atlantic Division. So
Yeah.
next time, we'll review another division. We'll be looking at the. I always mess up on this word. The Pacific.
You got it
Pacific.
right, bro. That's
All
it.
right, that time. Yeah, because if you want to say specific, like,
I feel you.
but Pacific, yeah. Uh, we'll do a review of those teams in that division next time. And some
Yeah.
other fire. content, man. Season's coming up soon, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, shout out to the Swish gang. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn your notification bells on, follow us, subscribe to the channel. We're available on all podcast platforms as well. Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast. Tune in, man. We appreciate y'all, and we look forward to the next one.
Peace.
Peace.